We've been lied to. Since kindergarten, we've been told, put plant in dirt, pour water on dirt. But for some of the coolest plants on Earth, doing that is a one-way ticket to the compost bin. Today, we're looking at 10 plants you should never water in the soil, at least not in the way you think. Let's dive in. We've got flesh-eating plants that need custom water service, succulents you might only water twice a year, and one plant that literally drinks through its face. Stick around, because number 6 is going to blow your mind. Number 1, the air plant. These guys don't even have soil. If you pour water into the center of their base, they'll rot from the inside out. The method: instead of watering a pot, give them a bath. Submerge the whole plant in a bowl of water for 20 minutes once a week. Pro tip: always shake them upside down afterward. If water sits in their butt, it's game over. Here's the wild part. There are over 650 species of Tillandsia. Some live in deserts, some in rainforests. They absorb water through tiny scales called trichomes on their leaves. Think of them as thousands of tiny mouths. And if you live in a dry climate, bump that bath up to twice a week. Your air plant will thank you. Next up, bromeliads. These tropical beauties have a built-in plumbing system. See that little well in the center of the leaves? That's the tank. In the wild, they catch rain. At home, you pour water directly into the cup, not the soil. Just make sure to flush it out every 2 weeks so it doesn't get swampy. Fun fact: pineapples are actually bromeliads. Yep, that fruit sitting on your counter is related to these beauties. And here's a pro tip: use rainwater or filtered water in that tank. Tap water can leave mineral deposits that clog up the system. Also, if you notice mosquito larvae in the water, flush it immediately. Number 3, the African violet. These are the divas of the plant world. If a single drop of water touches their fuzzy leaves, they get permanent, ugly brown spots. The method: bottom watering. Set the pot in a saucer of water for 15 minutes and let the roots suck it up like a straw. The leaves stay dry, the plant stays happy. Now here's something most people get wrong: the water temperature. African violets hate cold water. Use room temperature or slightly warm water or you'll shock the roots. And if you really want to go pro, use a self-wicking pot. It bottom waters automatically, so you barely have to think about it. Orchids. Most people drown these by treating them like daisies. Most orchids are epiphytes, meaning they grow on trees, not in ground dirt. The method: forget the ice cube myth. It's too cold. Instead, soak the bark medium for 10 minutes and let it drain completely. You're watering the airspace around the roots, not the soil. Here's a secret orchid growers don't tell you. The roots should be silvery green when dry and bright green when wet. That color change is your built-in moisture meter. If the roots look brown and mushy, you've been overwatering. If they're gray and shriveled, time for a soak. And never, ever let them sit in standing water. Number 5, the Venus Flytrap. These are bog plants. If you water the soil from the top, you risk crushing their traps or disturbing their delicate balance. The method: the tray method. Keep them in a shallow tray filled with an inch of water at all times. The catch: use distilled water only. Tap water minerals will literally burn their roots. And here's something that surprises everyone. Venus flytraps are native to a tiny area around Wilmington, North Carolina. That's it. Nowhere else on Earth. They evolved in nutrient-poor, boggy soil, which is why they started eating insects for nitrogen. So when you use tap water full of minerals, you're essentially force-feeding them the nutrients they evolved to avoid. Lithops look like pebbles, and they act like them too. If you water these when they are splitting, that's when new leaves emerge from the center, the old leaves will rot and kill the plant. The method: Strategic neglect. You might only water these twice a year. When you do, soak the pot, then don't touch it again for months. I know what you're thinking. Only twice a year? How is that even a plant? Well, Lithops store water in those fat little leaves for months. They're basically tiny water tanks disguised as rocks. The reason they look like stones is actually camouflage. In their native South African habitat, looking like a pebble keeps animals from eating them. These hanging carnivores have stomachs called pitchers. If they dry out, the plant can't digest its food. The method. While you do keep the moss damp, you also need to manually add a teaspoon of water into the pitchers themselves if they go dry. It keeps the digestive juices flowing. By the way, the liquid inside those pitchers isn't just water. It's a cocktail of digestive enzymes that break down insects over days or even weeks. Some pitcher plants can even digest small frogs and lizards. Nature is metal. If you grow these indoors, they also love high humidity, so a bathroom windowsill is actually perfect. Usually mounted on a wooden board, these look like deer antlers. There's no pot. The method. You have to douse the shield frond, the brown, crispy-looking part at the base. Take the whole board to the sink and run the shower over it. It drinks through its face, not its base. Here's a cool detail. That brown shield frond that looks dead? It's not. It's actually protecting the root system and collecting nutrients from decomposing debris. Over time, new shield fronds grow over old ones, creating layers. Some staghorn ferns in the wild can grow to be absolutely massive. We're talking several 100 pounds mounted on tree trunks. It's not moss, and it's not from Spain. It's an air plant relative that hangs in long curtains. The method. It has no roots at all. To water it, you mist it daily or dunk the whole curtain in a bucket. If it turns gray, it's thirsty. If it's green, it's hydrated. Despite the name, Spanish moss is actually in the same family as pineapples and bromeliads. It's been used for everything. Stuffing mattresses, insulating houses, even padding car seats in the early 1900s. And, contrary to popular belief, it doesn't actually kill the trees it hangs on. It's not a parasite. It just uses the tree as a support structure. Finally, the Cyclamen. These grow from a corm, basically a potato that sits right at the soil surface. If water hits that corm, it turns to mush. The method? Same as the African violet. Bottom watering. Set it in a saucer, let it drink from below, and keep that corm bone dry. And here's a bonus tip. Cyclamen go dormant in summer. The leaves will yellow and die back, and most people throw them out thinking they're dead. Don't. Just stop watering, store them in a cool, dark place, and they'll come back to life in fall. And there you have it. 10 plants that break every watering rule you've ever learned. The takeaway? Pay attention to what your plant actually needs, not what the generic care tag says. Every one of these plants evolved in a unique environment, and the closer you can mimic that environment at home, the happier they'll be. If you learned something new today, smash that like button, subscribe for more plant science, and drop a comment telling me which plant surprised you the most. I'll see you in the next one.